To. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new type of show on the Corky's World channel. I'm Corky as always, and as you can see right here on the screen, as you can see by the thumbnail, I finished Yakuza Kiwami on the PlayStation 4, and man, what a ride! What a gorgeous, beautiful symphony of emotion and action and conflict that just summed up into a wonderful, tear-jerking ending. I'm not known for showing more emotion than the quick flight to anger or the occasional brush of sarcasm, but this game hit all the right chords in just all the right ways. So like I was saying, this is going to be just a little wrap-up video, and then I'm going to give a review like I often do with movies on Corky's Quickies, or I've reviewed TV shows. Food is based on the fork system that Professor Sanford and I came up with, and games get controllers. It's 0 to 10, and we're just going to have a little just chat. I unlocked Premium Adventure, create game clear data that can be used in new modes after completing the game. All elements will be saved, but when starting New Game Plus, with game clear data, completion for a number of things, such as sub-stories, will not carry over. Starting a premium adventure with this data will retain all completion. We recommend that you create new save data to avoid... Yeah, that's fine. So what they just said was new save data. And that was... Man, that was a hell of a ride. So I don't remember how far. Like, I know we didn't get like barely any into the story. Okay, well, as you can see, it recorded just fine. So I think when they say that right there, I think what they mean is you can't record on the PlayStation, but you can still record like with the HD. It would seem, because all that shit looks like it's running just fine. So like I said, this is a new series. I'm gonna talk about a bit about the plot. I'm gonna mainly try and talk about, and this is gonna be a super brief video. Like, if this makes 10 minutes, I'll be shocked. Talk about the plot, mainly about the gameplay, and then I'm gonna give a review or an overall grade at the end. So if I'm not mistaken, we stopped filming right after Kazuma Kiryu got out of prison. He gets out 10 years later after taking the fall for Nishiki murdering the Dojo Clan's chairman, as you can see right there on the screen. When he gets out, he is everyone just is like, "Oh, you're such a piece of shit. You're the reason why the Yakuza family is the way it is." We find out that our friend Nishikiyama, I already forgot his last name. Japanese names are so hard to keep in my head. But you find out he's just become a total piece of shit, and it's up to you to find out why that happened. And as you go along the game, you get to find more backstory and more. You learn the reason why Nishiki becomes the way he does. You find out who Haruka is, who's the little girl who you see in this opening. I don't remember if I played enough silent playthrough on the channel for everyone to be introduced to Haruka, but Haruka ends up being someone very close to Kazuma's daughter, and just the way they told the story, the way they weaved it was so incredible. There are a million side games and mini games and things you can do to pass the time in this. My favorite, it's not a mini game, and it's not really a side quest, is Gomo Majima is the guy in the leopard shirt. We met him in the first, probably the first episode of the silent playthrough, not 0, but the first one. He's the guy who comes up to you and is like, "Oh, let's fight," and you're like, "No, there's no reason to fight, so why would we do that?" And he ends up being kind of your, I don't want to say mentor. He's a friend of me. He walks that line. he's always looking for a fight. Whenever you run into him, he's like, yeah, let's fight. He gets increasingly stronger, and his health bar goes up every so often you meet him. But his whole thing is, win or lose, you get experience with him. It doesn't like set you back or anything. All he wants is to see you back at your peak fighting condition, because all he really wants is a good fight. He's like Goku in a lot of ways, where and it's probably closer to Vegeta, because he does good things, but he's probably not a good person, and all he really cares about is being the stronger in the next fight. And he's a super cool character. So my main focus was just trying to find him, and by doing that, I banked tons and tons of experience points. So by the time I got to the second to last or third to last chapter, I was maxed out on 3 of the 4 item trees. And the item trees are one of the reasons this game is not going to get a 10 out of 10, from me at least. But so there's Soul, Body, Tech, and then Dragon. And Soul, Body, and Tech are all skill trees that can be expanded upon with experience, whereas Dragon can only be unlocked by either half of the tree is doing all the Majima stuff that's out there, so like running into him in all his different outfits, meeting him in different areas, getting him to jump into random fights with street gangs with you. There's that half, and then the other half is there's an old man in Purgatory, which is the park that's been overtaken by homeless people and is now being run by what's his name? I forgot. He's a character. He's like a main-ish character who helps you through the game. It's like the Watcher. It's along those lines. He deals in information, and he has cameras all over the city that he hacks into. But in the park, there's an old man who claims to be the master of the dragon technique, who's willing to teach you how to do all these things and rebuild that one fraction of your fighting options. Because there are 4 fighting options. You have Brawler, which is my favorite, and I used easily 90% of the game. Rush, which is like a Bruce Lee style, where you're just lightning fast and not doing as much damage, but dealing out way more hits per second. There's Beast, which is just swinging your fist and being as strong as you can. You're very slow, but you do more damage. And then there's Dragon, which is kind of an all-encompassing, that's supposed to have like special moves that you use. And Dragon is easily the one I use the least. It's the one you start with. I think you saw some training for it in episode 2 or 3 maybe. But it's just, to fully unlock the Dragon, I ended the game with, I think, 22 out of 45 Dragon points unlocked. And easily 18 of those were from Majima encounters. And, like, so the way to unlock the other half is you need to do tournament fights to get credits, to buy paintings, to give back to this old man so he'll train you on the dragon technique. And the tournament fights are fun. They don't have anything to do with the story. They're in the Watcher's compound. And you do 3 fights and you get some points. The fights get super hard. And even with maxed out skills, I was still having a hard time with some of those fights. And it just becomes a grind to, okay, I guess I got to grind these many fights to get this amount of, to buy this picture, to get this next technique that I'm not even really going to use. So it was just kind of annoying, because it was like, if you want 100% this game, like as you saw at the very opening of this video, I 39% of the game. So if you wanted 100%, you had to put in that time to win those fights, to get that credits, to do all that shit. And then the other components are like side stories. You can run into, I think, some 200 different people who have X amount of quests for you to check off a list of sub-stories. There's numerous bars. The bars have billiards, they have dart games, they have drinking contests. There's the romantic aspect of the game, where you can choose to woo either one of two girls at these different escort clubs. One is you, and then I think the other is Ren. You, if I'm remembering which one is which correctly, is the better choice because she actually admits she's into you, and the other girl is like, I really just work at this club because I like all the cute girls, and why wouldn't anyone want to be a cute girl or be around a cute girl all the time? So she's basically just like a friend, and then the other is a possible romantic interest. There's bowling, there's arcades with crane machines, and then also a sub story from arcades is there's a rock paper scissors battling system that uses swipe cards, and it's like pretty girls dressed as bugs, and you run into it's like called what is it? It's like Miru King or something like that. But it's just a fun little thing to pass the time. There's karaoke, which is a rhythm game. Tons of shopping. There's a lot of levels to this game, and since I never played the original on PS2, I can't tell if they were added or this is legit how it was. And if this is just an HD remaster and not a whole bunch of additions, this game was miles ahead of its time. Leaps and bounds. It's insane. And I'm super excited that they released a Yakuza Kiwami 2, which is the HD remaster of Yakuza 2, in Japan last December, and we are getting the American release in August this month, the tail end of August this year. So I'm super excited. I'll probably play at least some of that on the channel by the time it comes out. In between now and then, just to give you guys a little where we're at. Undertale is on its way. I'm about to actually start recording that right now, and if I stick with it, I think we're going to do just start to finish of one run of Undertale, just to see what the fuck everyone's talking about. Nier Automata should have wrapped up. If that got to continue, that's great, and we're playing more of that. I have Okami HD on the horizon, which is another game everyone is all about. State of Decay 2 should be coming along the pipes. Jurassic Park, or Jurassic World Evolution, will probably get a little mini-series just because I'm super excited to play that game. So that the SNES hacked. We still have Pokemon going. There's tons of stuff happening on the channel, guys, and I'm super excited to share it with all of y'all. I know I said this video wasn't going to be super long, and I've already ran over what I thought it was going to be. So real quick to wrap up, Yakuza Kiwami on the PlayStation 4 gets 9 out of 10 controllers. This game is almost flawless. Like I said, there were just a lot of little minor ticks and details that just kind of irked me and kept it from being a 10. But guys, this is easily one of my top 10 games probably of all time, if not the top 25. Guys, I can't recommend checking it out enough if you have a PS4. It's just that good. This game has something for everyone. And maybe it just speaks more to me because I'm super into Japanese culture, and just to see how the life of something like this goes, even in just a romanticized story, is just still amazing. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for commenting, subscribing if you did. Thanks for listening to me gush about a game I'm so in love with, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. Always remember to be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I will see you in the next episode. Later days.